Anyway, today we're going to talk about the echo. I just found out about it before I proceeded to become more interested. I wanted to find out if we had any members that were involved with it. And these two gentlemen today, Paul Volelsang, is that?
Volelsang, yeah.
Okay, Volelsang.
Just like Krista Volelsang, so she pronounces her name phonetically, and
Okay.
I pronounce mine Americanized. If I was in Germany, it would be Volelsang.
So what should we call you?
Yeah, Volelsang is good.
And we got Ed.
Or hey you.
We got Edward Evans.
That's
And
an
he
easy
was our second, and then we have, there's a third echo person that's back here, and your last name was Clay. Jerry. What was that? Jerry. Jerry Clay. So we have three expert echo people in the room, and they're gonna, these two gentlemen are gonna talk about the echo and tell us all the things that are great about it, and maybe a few things that aren't. And I think it's going to be a great meeting, because each day I started asking my kids and my grandkids, and this is a pretty well-known product, and and I think it's critical for us in the MAC group to not only be aware of Apple product and what's happening with Apple product, but like we talked about the GoPro last year, and now the Echo, we should be aware of some of the other hot items that are showing up. So gentlemen, it's all yours.
All right, so Ed and I are going to sort of tag team here and just chime in on each other's stuff. I'm just going to go through the introduction of what it is and whatever, and then we'll get into some how you use it stuff. But basically, back in November of 2014, Amazon came out with this Echo. George sent around a bunch of literature about how it started off as some sort of top secret project and whatever, and evolved into a smart brain Echo thing. Every time I say Echo, this lights up because it's waiting for a command.
That's right.
So if I turn it on mute, we got it. Yeah. It won't pay any attention to what's called the wake word, to wake it up. So they've sold about 3 million of them now. They have, when I got mine, it was $200 back in November of 2014. They invited people who were Amazon Prime members to, or I don't know if it was a subset of them or all of them, to potentially buy it, and I bought one back then. And I love it. I use it every day. They have, what it is basically is like Siri. It's conceptually like Siri. Yeah, you talk to it, it remembers what you said, it learns your voice, it gets better and better, and they collect from all these 3 million people things, and they're constantly updating it. They've since come out with some other things, but let me show you what it is. Right here is the device. This is the Echo. It's got a little ring on top where there are 7 microphones, so it can hear. If you wanted to say something and wake it up, it would hear you and understand that. It's got amazing abilities to hear from across the room and whatever. And the speakers are actually very good. The biggest downside everybody has with it is that it has to be plugged in. There's no battery. It's not portable. It's a fixture in your living room, kitchen, wherever you put it. But they've since come out with some other things. Now the other thing that people complained about was that it doesn't have a output jack, 3.5 millimeter jack. So they came out with a little Echo. It's called the Dot. We don't have a Dot here, but it's smaller, worse speakers, but it'll connect to your speaker system. So you can use your voice control to control the music the brain will be here, and it'll do things with your music. If you're playing from Spotify or Pandora or iTunes, or whatever, it's basically you use your voice to control things.
So is that in addition to that, or is that?
Yeah, that's addition. This is a new product. This product, this little one, came out a few months ago, and is used for people who want to have an alarm clock you can yell at, or or connect it to your speakers so that you can get all of the voice control that you can get with a big echo. This is not called little echo; it's called a dot. And then use your powerful speakers, and if you're really a music aficionado, you want your music through your stuff.
So that is not a speaker?
It is a speaker, but it's not a very good one.
Okay. I mean, this one?
This stands alone. You can use it standing alone, and if you use it as an alarm clock, it'll say, "Hey George, wake up. It's time to get up, George. Wake up." Whatever. Put it.
You have to wire it to your speakers, or is it?
Yeah, you have to wire it to your speakers. Yeah, that's for this one. And both this and the Echo have Bluetooth capability, so it'll play iTunes through your phone Bluetooth to there and music on your phone. They now have, the latest one they've introduced is this thing called the Tap, which I have, which is essentially take a speaker on the picnic, and if you are in a Wi-Fi network at your picnic, wherever you are, this will do the same things as the Echo. So if you wanted to check the weather in London, or do whatever you wanted to do with it through the Wi-Fi, just like Siri, this will do that. If not, it's a Bluetooth speaker that you can use anywhere. And this one's $130. The Dot is what, $90? Is that what we said? Yeah. And then the Echo is now $180.
So what does the smaller one do that the bigger one, what does it not do that the bigger one can't?
Speakers. It's terrible. The speakers are not good. The speakers on this are actually very good. The speaker on the Echo is very good. The speaker on the Dot, obviously, is a lot smaller, and it's not nearly got the range, the dynamic range that the Echo has.
Yeah, everything I read said that the speakers on the Echo are really
outstanding. Yeah, they're very good, very good. It's the Echo itself has on the Amazon website. On this one has 35,000 plus reviews, and some are extremely detailed about all the ways people use it, etc. And they're all, very, very high. You sent out some writings from guys like Mossberg and others that said 10 out of 10, and all of these things. It's very popular with the people who have it. 35,000 plus reviews, and it's 4-point-something average.
You read them all, right?
I haven't read them all. No, but there are some good reviews to read for things. I have a friend who really loves this. Who unfortunately she got up in the middle of the night and fell in the bathroom, and now she's paralyzed from the neck down. And so she uses the Echo in her chair. She has it read books to her because she can't hold anything in her hands anymore. And she loves to shout at it because she has to, paralyzed. You have to force yourself to breathe hard and keep your muscles going. So she's all the time shouting at her Echo.
Is the Dot and the Tap, how is they powered?
This has a base that you set it on, and this has to be plugged in to an outlet.
Tap does also, right?
And the Tap is plugged into an outlet, but then it sits on this.
The dot has to plug in.
Yeah, the Dot has to be plugged in. constantly plugged in. This is charged, you know, by just sitting on here, and then you can take it off and get 9 hours of play with it.
So you don't need any other connection other than plugging it into electricity, the Echo?
You need Wi-Fi.
Okay.
You have to have Wi-Fi to.
But it's not connected to your growth router or whatever, it's just...
Well, you to do this when you go to do setup. When you get into setup, there's an app. You download the Alexa app. It's the brain is called Alexa, as opposed to Siri, so it's called Alexa. And you set it up by getting it linked into your local Wi-Fi. But then there's a lot of other things you can do with the setup. You can, you know, like I tell it that my local radio station I like to listen to is NPR, so I look at WGCU. You know, I just say to it, play NPR, and it goes in there through the Wi-Fi. And you can do Pandora. Ed has Pandora, I think, so he plays his Pandora songs. And you can, you know, Spotify. There's a lot of them. Tune in. You can get radios all over the country, all over the world, actually. Go ahead.
Well, you mentioned Apple Music, so if you have playlists on your phone, how...
You have to do Bluetooth to the...
Yeah, I understand that, but if I have a playlist and it's Sinatra and related, do I just say play? What would the command be?
I believe, Ed you might know better than me, but I think it will only do voice control of things like next, back up one, you know, what is it you're playing? You know, it won't do select the, I'm not sure. I've never done it that way. I've always, when I do it, I just do it on my phone, start it going, and then it's going.
You can start, and I don't think it'll work with the Apple Music, but just, I think. I know with Pandora, with Prime, and so on, you can just say, play Frank Sinatra. Okay?
Yeah.
Or you can say, play Frank Sinatra on Pandora. And it'll play a playlist or a station you set up on one of those services that way.
Yeah, it's not on Apple. It won't let you do it on that Apple, but after this we'll get into the app. I can show you, you know, all of the services, all the music services it will do. And for those, you say, you know, if my default is Prime Music, so if I just say play Frank Sinatra, it'll go out and it'll just start playing Frank Sinatra. I was telling, and there's no time limit. It'll play all the Frank Sinatra songs it has, which is, you know, it can go for a long, long time.
I had a question over there, Paul.
I just wanted to make a comment that I have it, and I do just what you said. We're Amazon Prime people, therefore you get Amazon Music.
Right.
And there's a playlist for Sinatra.
Yeah.
So you just say, play Sinatra, or play Amazon Sinatra, and it runs for as long as you want
Yeah,
to listen.
and you can, and there are playlists for anybody. I was telling Ed that, you know, a friend of ours comes over and she likes to play here's Chopin, so I say, play Chopin. 8 hours later, it's still playing Chopin.
All right. If you're not fussy about what you want to hear, and again, a friend showed me this, you can just tell her to play some music.
Yeah.
Just say, oh, here's something you might like.
Yeah.
Play that, and if you don't like the song, you can say, play something else. So change to a different song.
Excuse me, do you always have to say Alexa play?
Yes.
On this you do. On this, you always have to touch the button. So here's the start button. Play Sinatra.
I couldn't find any songs by Sinatra in the music library.
In my, yeah, because it's not in Wi-Fi. So it's just going, oh, well, that's not true. It should be in Wi-Fi. Play Frank Sinatra.
Shuffling Frank Sinatra from Prime
That's
Music.
what you gotta do. So it'll go for hours.
So as a Prime subscriber, all the music in the
the whole wide world is free.
Yeah, $99 a year, or maybe they're going to 129 or whatever they're gonna do. Yeah,
Also,
but you
a lot
don't,
of
it's not
movies,
required, it's, yeah, movies, yeah. Amazon Prime is a
No movies there.
free shipping, you know, it's a whole bunch of benefits, but it includes music and movies and the other thing this will do is if you're an audio book guy, it'll read books, you know, you can read your books through there, or even your Kindle books. It'll read it.
Can you say a specific song by Sinatra?
Yeah. Got one?
Yeah. Very good year.
Play Very Good Year by Frank Sinatra.
Shuffling Frank Sinatra from Prime Music.
It didn't sound like it.
The two of them, Frank Sinatra.
Okay, stop. Play Very Good Year. Play Very Good Year.
It was a very good year by Ray Charles from Paul's Music Library.
Yeah, that's the tune.
That's it, but Ray Charles, okay?
Stop. Okay, so, yeah.
Go through the procedure for having it read you a book.
All right, well, let's go through some of the things you can do with it. So we talked about setting it up. You know, it's just an app, and you set it up, and there's a whole bunch of things in there that you can do. The skills and the home control devices. You know, you can control your lights and your all the stuff if you have the right device, and you can link it to the Alexa app, which they have menus of which ones you can do and all that sort of thing. I don't do that, but you can. And then, I don't know how many people use IFTTTs, but there's just a giant library of those. Does anybody use those?
What is that?
IFTTT is a web service that connects other web services. So it means if this, then that. And it's basically a real basic programming thing. They call them recipes. And Alexa is just one of the web services that uses this stuff. I use mine for like my Gmail. I strip all my attachments off and put them in my Dropbox. I can strip all photos that I get sent and put them in my photos library. You know, just recipes that you can use. And it's you can look it up at ifttt.com. But Alexa uses some of them, or some of them will work with Alexa. Like I can say, Alexa, trigger trigger Pat's message, and it'll send a message to my wife. You know, which is hard coded to say, where the hell are you? But those kind of, that's what IFTTT is. It's a simple driver of, if this happens, do that with the other web. If this happens on one web service, like Outlook Mail or Gmail or whatever, do that. And connect to Drop, you know, like if you get an attachment in Gmail, put it in Dropbox. That kind of stuff. And Alexa is in the mix of things that you can do with it.
You have books that in yours?
Yeah. So this is all the stuff at the high end we said we could do with it. Let me, it's my turn. Am I on?
I thought you were on. I haven't heard her responding when you said Alexa.
Alexa.
You
I
turned
think
it
I
on.
turned it on.
No, she's on mute.
Oh, it's on mute, yeah. So I was in the middle of Alexa, read The Juice. So it's a book about wine by Jay McInerney. Alexa, oh, it's still off.
She's on lunchtime.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Not connected.
In order to have her read a book, it needs to be a book from Kindle or an audio book. Okay, it's not going to be any old book, but
Could it be on your iPad?
as long as it's in
As long as it's in your
as long as it's in your Kindle account. Okay, so
Or-
iBooks, no. If it's an iBooks book, no, it's not going to do that
They
for
would
you.
do Audible.
Audible, yes,
Yeah.
Audible or Kindle, okay, but not iBooks. Okay, so I've got, I use mostly iBooks, but I have some Kindle books, so I was checking this out the other day. So I had a book called The Collector. It was an Echo, Read The Collector.
Hello. The Collectors, The Camel Club, Book 2, by David Baldacci, reading from Kindle. Roger C. Graves walked out of the U.S. Capitol after an interesting meeting that, surprisingly, had little to do with politics. That evening he sat alone in the living room of his modest suburban home.
Stop.
That's the other thing, it's got a remote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roger C. Graves walked...
Okay, which is good for fooling your grandkids. Because one of the things you can do with it now is that Alexa or Echo will respond to Simon Says. So you can say, Alexa, Simon Says, and it'll read off, like Roman, go to bed, it's time to bed. Brush your teeth, whatever.
Can you hook up a Bluetooth speaker or headphones to that?
Not to this,
Okay.
to the dot.
To the guy, okay.
Yeah.
Can I
To
please
to
make-
this, yes, not to that.
Okay. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I can download a book from this library or a Naples library on Overdrive. I
Yeah.
download the book for 2 weeks. Will this pick it up off my iPad through my
I-
Wi-Fi
I
system?
don't think so.
I don't know, yeah, I don't know. The only way I can think of that it would do is if somebody created one of these IFTTTs, recipes, and that would work with Alexa, that would say, Alexa, connect to my Overdrive account and read, whatever the book is. Which is simple to do, and somebody would, if there's a bunch of OneDrive people, then somebody would have done it. And there's a software development kit out for the Echo now that came out last year, and so there's a proliferation of things happening for what you can do.
Was that the Amazon Fire remote that you spoke with?
No, it's very similar. I have a Fire too, and it looks almost
Does the
exactly.
Fire work on it? Does
Huh?
the Fire remote work on it?
No, I couldn't. Well, maybe if I paired it, but I picked up the wrong one the other day and tried to use it, and it didn't work. But I hadn't paired it. I had to find the one that, But you have to pair to get that working. You first have to pair the remote with the device. Go ahead.
How far away will the remote work on
Oh, nationwide. If you're in Wi-Fi in
Well, remote, he's saying, how far away from the remote can the remote be?
that? The remote work.
This doesn't work across the internet.
Oh, yeah, I know. Okay, so yeah, you can, but if you go 2 rooms away, it'll work. I mean, it's through the Wi-Fi, the local area network. Yeah.
You said the product came out 2 years ago. Have there been any blogs or anything suggesting that this product's going to be updated soon?
It is updated, it is constantly updated for you, for new skills and things that it does, And the way to force an update, if you've been gone for 3 months in the summer, and if you leave it muted for 30 minutes, that forces an update. You get the latest updated. But it's constantly on the internet, so it's constantly going to get, whenever there's one released, it'll get the latest.
But-
Unless you shut it down for 3 months.
But no talk of a complete redo of the product?
No.
With enhanced hardware or whatever?
No, the latest, the doc came out about 4 months ago, and the tap came out about 2 months ago, and I don't know what's next, but I haven't seen anything on that.
Okay.
Can you control the bass and treble?
No. Well, maybe by voice control. I haven't tried that. Have you done that?
No, I haven't seen anything to control the range of the sound.
Try it. I don't know. It would only be by voice control. There's no external dials.
If you ask it to read an audiobook, is it in the voice of the audiobook or is it Alexa's voice?
It's in the audiobook reader's voice.
Yeah.
If you ask it to read a Kindle Whisper Sync book, it's in Alexa's voice.
I had one of those here too, I think.
So that depends on the situation.
Does the word read?
I had you on mute.
Yeah, that's right.
When you're reading a book and finish for the time you have, does it continue the same book where you left off, or do you have?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do with mine, is that it was, I left it in the middle of a paragraph, and if Alexa, read the juice. See if it's on.
From Paul's office library. Resuming the juice.
So it starts right up with the middle of the sentence. You know, right where when I deliberately tried to get it into the middle of a thing. Alexa, listen to this. This is terrible. Alexa, volume 11. Alexa, volume 11.
Books, especially in our
It's
youth,
very loud.
particularly books by Hemingway and
Alexa.
Kerouac and Lawrence Durrell.
So
To find
so loud
out how to
that you
live
can't
and how
hear.
to pose and where to travel and what to eat and drink and
Alexa.
smoke along the way.
Oh,
Everybody in Hemingway's first novel was drinking
Like
wine.
my wife.
Not long.
Alexa, stop. Yeah, that's if you're playing music and you turn it up to
Comes in handy.
the maximum, volume 11,
Send for the police.
you can't, it won't hear you.
When you're talking about the Kindle books, you're talking from the Kindle device or the Kindle app?
Anything you bought through Kindle and
Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon. And they don't
Okay.
have to be on your iPad, they have to be in the cloud. It gets them from your
Yeah,
Prime
but what I'm
membership.
saying is, you can't read, you can't,
yes, this will read a book, not the Whisper Sync version, it will read any book, any Kindle book.
if the Kindle book is on your iPad, it will
Doesn't have
read
to be
it.
on your iPad.
Like you can, like you get books through Amazon Prime, right?
I do, yeah,
But I can't read them on my iPad.
without the app.
Even if you have the app, you can't read Prime, Kindle Prime, Amazon Prime books.
I do all the time.
You're talking about the unlimited Prime.
You mean unlimited? You mean Kindle
device.
Unlimited? Kindle Unlimited, I'm not
You
using
have to have
Kindle.
Kindle
I don't
device.
use Kindle Unlimited, so I don't know.
So you have to have a Kindle device, that's what I'm trying to.
No, you don't.
No, I don't
I don't
think
have a
so.
Kindle device, but I have the Kindle app on my iPad, and I'm able to read these books on the iPad using the Kindle app. But I bought a book from Amazon.
But you have to buy it, but you can't read the Prime Kindle books.
Yeah, that may be, that may
That's
well
what I'm
be.
trying
That's the, I don't know. I at one time had Kindle Unlimited, but I didn't think it was worth it, so I got out of that. But probably, yes, they make you, because those are free,
Right.
and they make you use a Kindle to read
But
it.
if you buy a Kindle book,
If you buy a Kindle book, you can get it read to you
okay.
without buying for an extra 99 cents the
Yeah, that's what I was
Whisper
trying to
Sync thing. Yeah.
distinguish.
Question. You could hook it up to your iPhone, the app is connected to the iPhone.
Yeah, Bluetooth, yeah, you just pair it.
And it's got, like you said, 7 microphones in it for hearing sound.
Yep.
And it's got a good speaker. Can you use it for a conference phone?
I don't think so.
I don't think you could.
I attempted when I was trying the Bluetooth to see if I could even play any of the sound from the phone through it, and it did not, okay? And I know that when I'm in my car and it's hooked up to the system in my car and I use the phone, then it gives me a choice, where do you want the sound to come, from the car speaker or from the phone? But that wasn't true with the iPhone.
One of the number one things people want to do with it is the last thing up here is have it, I've fallen and I can't get up, call 911, and it won't do that. It does not interface with the phone system, other than there are these IFTTTs, some of which will send a message, but they have to be pre-formatted messages.
Or call from,
No, it doesn't call. It doesn't
It's
call
not,
anybody.
it's not a phone.
It's not a phone, won't call anybody.
What do you use it for the most?
I use it for music, news. Usually I would, and I can say to it in the morning or first thing in the morning, Alexa, read my flash briefing. So then it goes and it gives me the highlights of, which Ted Cruz dropped out. I don't care. But so it reads me my BBC News things. Alexa, stop. So you can do those, and those are, I think they're part of what's called skills. So when you look at, when you go in the Alexa app, there are a million skills, like, I think I have one on here, Ask Mathmania to play. So just a math game, so there's hundreds of those different things, okay? Or you can ask it for, if my grandson has a rash on his forehead, ask WebMD, what's that about? Those kind of things.
How do you do
They call them
living room
skills.
lights?
Huh?
How do you do living room lights? You have to have something within the receptor?
Yeah, you have to have,
Okay.
the living room lights are like Philips or whatever that have Wi-Fi enabled hub or light. So the light has to be in your Wi-Fi system. So the light is connected to your Wi-Fi, and this can control the light through your Wi-Fi. Yeah.
I just want to add to that I recently moved into, or built a new condo, and I put Lutron lighting in.
Yeah, Lutron works.
A dozen switches.
Yeah.
And I did pair the phone with the app, but then I got the tab, the Echo tab.
Yeah.
And there's a procedure that was unbelievably simple. And I said, find my devices.
Yeah.
Found all dozen of them.
Yeah.
And they're all labeled, and I say, turn the dead light, or just dead light on.
Yeah.
Dead light 50%.
Yeah.
Or I say, lights off, or lights on, all dozen settings.
Go on.
Go on.
Yeah, one of the things that I see I don't do that, but I see in the literature, in the comments, people saying, be sure and pick the right names for all those things, because, say, turn off kitchen lights, or turn off bedroom lights 1. Well, by the time you get to the 1, it might have turned off all of the bedroom lights. So it's you got to pick a name that you can get out in time for it to.
Is there a website you use to keep finding out about what's happening with that?
Yeah, there's. I can't remember the name of the one that's just skills for Alexa, but I guess it's just go to alexa.amazon.com.
It's on the Amazon.
Yeah, well, it's called alexa.amazon.com, and that's what you can use to do setup. Sign in with your account, your Amazon account, and you can do all the setup of your device that way. And then you can search all the skills. You can see all the skills there are, all the things that you could do. And the other one is just ifttt.com and search for Alexa, and you get then you get the list of 100 or so that are just Alexa services, or Gmail, whatever you want to search for.
Does it recognize everyone's voice in the house?
Yeah, it's got two ways of doing this. Well, one of the things that people have concerns about is they think it's always listening to you, and so I have my son has a friend who's just conspiracy theorist who thinks that Amazon's out to take over the world and is listening to everybody, all the conversations in the house at all times. But it's just that the base of it is listening for its wake word. And Ed just changed his to Echo, and the lights go on. And mine is still Alexa, and the lights on mine go on. But until you say that, it's not going to record everything. But once you say that, until you're done with the command, it will record all of that. And all of that goes up to the cloud, and you can see it on your app if you want. And you can, if what you wanted to happen when you said that didn't happen, you can start fixing it. Then there's a app within the app of Alexa that is a voice training app. So that works for, I have a friend who teaches or exercises Parkinson's people with Parkinson's, and they sometimes slur a lot. And so they can use this, and she says it has two benefits. One is you can train it to learn what they're saying when they're, what they mean when they're saying something, and it forces them to focus more so their voice actually gets better. So they improve and it improves, but it will hear me. It's Ed's device, but I say Echo, and it's supposed to turn on. But if he said,
I told her to ignore you.
but anybody, somebody back there could yell out Alexa, and it would, take their command. It would take their command, and they could take it over if they want. But yeah, it's
The side story, and there was a friend of mine who is from Boston, and I don't know if anybody knows this, but people from Boston tend to have a noticeable accent, a different way of talking. And he has one of these, and he was saying, I try to get him to play something, and I can't do the accent. He said, I try to play something from the Carpenters, and he doesn't understand me. Then I said, Alexa, play the Carpenters. She did. He said, how come it doesn't work for me? He said, you got to stop saying Carpenters.
or train it, or spend the time.
Right.
It will learn how you speak and what you're doing. So
does this, you pay the $99 a year for Prime, so is there a...
That is not required to use this. That is just a great thing to do because you get all that free music.
It defaults. Because I was looking around for different ways of doing this. Now, I have had a Pandora account for years, and actually I do the paid version of Pandora, but I said, okay, what about iHeartRadio? And iHeartRadio is a free service, and it'll hook up with that. And so you can get the iHeartRadio music and play that for free.
As long as they stay in business, because our last week, the guy said it was about to go out of business. iHeartRadio.
Free makes it hard to stay in business, I guess.
But yeah, I've always been a Prime member, and I love it because you can just say, play anybody, and there's a playlist for almost any person you want to listen to.
Are there commercials on it?
No commercials. No commercials.
Actually,
unless you wanted to read something.
I'm guessing that if you hook up to a free Pandora account, that you would get commercials, because you do get commercials with free Pandora.
Yeah. Well, and if you pick a radio, like I pick BBC, I pick NPR, for example, and so they actually have little commercials in the middle. So if your radio station that you wanted to listen to was it plays whatever's playing through the radio. So if it's playing commercials, you'll hear the commercials. But they are not Amazon Echo commercials. Buy more Echoes. No, that's not what it does. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about? The only thing I have on here is that I would like it to do better. You can do a raw search for skills, like find me the ones that work for math or health or whatever. But I can't do I can't do an extended search for skills, and you get back, a list like this, you have to look through and
It's
see.
like over 500 skills.
Yeah, they just keep growing every day, so.
And where do you see them, on your device?
In the app, let me see if I can go online and show you those. The main is blocked. I don't know, I might have to do
You
it.
can't run the, your Alexa app.
I don't know.
So let's see, you're not running it on your iPad,
No, I'm,
Nice to see a fellow opera user.
that's George,
Uh,
not me. Unsafe traffic blocked. I don't know, George, it says domain blocked, so I don't know what's going on with this thing, but,
That's the
if
library.
you go to alexa.amazon.com, you sign into your Amazon account, and then you can further set up the device, whichever one you have. And because I think it's cumbersome on my iPad to try and look at all the skills that flow through there and whatever, it's easier when you're doing it on the MacBook and search for whatever you want and select, and then you enable. You have to click the enable button, and it puts on your device the little bit of code to say this guy's authorized me to use Mathmania, for example, or whatever the skill is you want to. Like Pilates, if you want to have a 30-minute Pilates workout on your reformer machine, you can enable the Pilates workout and say, Alexa, play my Pilates workout, which I never do.
Do you use the shopping list?
I do use it, but it's okay, but it's not. There's nothing particular.
I can't remember, so I used it.
Yeah, I just let my wife write it down, and I'll take it that list to the store.
You can put it in notes and take it to the store.
Well, you can do all of those things, but this is if you use it, it's on your phone because it's in the Alexa app. You open up the app and there's the shopping list.
If you are interested in a shopping list, totally apart from Alexa, there's a great app that I love called AnyList. So check out AnyList. You can create all kinds of shopping lists. You can get the version that shares it with your wife. I can be in the store and she can add something to the list and I see it. It's great. So that's just a separate little commercial. Question?
It must make ordering from Amazon real easy.
Oh yeah, unfortunately it does, and I have that turned off.
Yeah, so do I. So do I.
But it does. It does let you just say, order me. Like I have used it, which but it was just to Alexa, order me some more ink for my, order some more 221 ink. That's something that is easy to say. I've never used it for multiple search. Show me, read me the best, 4K television sets or something.
Well, wait, if you have kids in the house, that might be a...
It might be a problem.
They would turn it off.
Yeah, it's in the app. I have the settings turned off, so nobody can order through it. So far, it just added the third name of Echo. And when it came out, it was Amazon or Alexa, which is why everybody chose Alexa, I think. And
I have a cousin who
That's
was
the
about
dot.
to marry a girl whose name is Alexa. I'm sure that could get very exciting in that house. Alexa, stop. What do you mean?
yeah. So, and No monthly cost, other than internet, but that's buried in your other costs. And then it's, the thing I like about it is that you're constantly exposed to new things. Like just last month, I think it hooked up with Uber. So if you're a big Uber user, you can tell it to order me an Uber for here, and it'll know where here is. So,
Does it give you traffic reports before you leave?
it can, but I like you have to tell it where you're going. It won't give you a generic, the traffic in Naples is terrible, which you know already anyway. So I would say Siri's a little better and quicker for that. Plus it's more portable. You can do it while I'm in the car.
Mitch, did you have a question?
Oh, yes, I did. Do you only have one of these?
I only have one.
You have one and a half.
I have one. Yeah, I use this. I like this for when I'm out at the pool, which is inside my Wi-Fi network, but it's portable, and I can speak to it and play Frank Sinatra, or whatever, and or use any other questions, as opposed to just my playlist on my iTunes playlist.
Let me add a few things here.
Go ahead. Okay.
Somebody said up front that this might cost me some money. I was introduced to Alexa just short of a year ago. It was a gift from my daughters, and I had never heard of it. Somehow I missed all the promotions, and I got it. That one has spawned at least 20 more. Okay. Friends and family who've seen it and say, I gotta have one. Okay. So it's become a very popular item. Well, I did change his name to Echo. Echo. Who are you?
I'm not sure what you meant by that question.
Echo, who are you?
I'm Alexa, and I'm designed around your voice. You can ask me to play music, answer questions, get the weather and sports scores, create to-do lists, and much more.
Echo, good morning.
Good morning. Today is the 4th of May, also known as Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. To celebrate, I wrote some new Star Wars jokes.
Echo, tell me a Star Wars joke.
When is the staring contest over? When Jar Jar blinks.
So she's got quite a collection of jokes.
Yeah,
and they are all stars. Echo, tell me a joke. Echo, tell me a joke.
I had a really great boomerang joke. It'll come back to me.
But you never know what she's going to come up with and that sort of thing. Now, I said I got this about a year ago. We had just returned back to our home in New York, and my wife had to go someplace for a few days, and that's when my daughter brought this to me, and I set it up. So I'm alone in the house. I didn't have anybody to talk to, so I said good morning, and she said good morning, and bedtime, Echo, good night.
Good night. Sleep tight.
And sometimes she'll say, don't let the bed bugs bite, or something like that.
Yeah, she changes her answers on some of them.
Can you ask it when the rain will be in Naples?
I don't know.
Try it.
Echo, when will it rain in Naples?
Rain is likely in Naples today. There's a 75% chance. You can expect about 0.62 inches.
Okay, we don't know how much, we don't know when exactly.
When will it start us?
So she's not saying now, there is an app called Dark Sky that will tell you that. But that's not part of her.
No, she won't. Ask her what, there's a million of these fun things, and there are websites where people are.
He mentioned, Alexa or Echo, where is Chuck Norris?
If Chuck Norris wants you to know where he is, he'll find you. If he doesn't, you won't know until it's too late.
But she does various other, besides the music stuff we talked about, and, you know, Alexa, play some music. I want to talk to that one.
Yeah.
Alexa, stop.
Yeah.
Echo, play some music.
Shuffling your music.
Talk using the wrong name all the time. This is the remote. This, I think, came with it initially. Did you?
Yeah.
And originally came with it. Now it's extra. This is an extra $30 if you want the remote when you buy one of these things. But the remote is useful. Again, if you're trying to, you don't want to keep using the name in front of everything. So,
Or if you want to spoof your grandkids from another room.
yeah, but you can use the name of an artist. Well, I'm trying to see where they use example. Play Neil Diamond from Pandora.
Getting your Neil Diamond radio station from Pandora.
So that's picking one. If I
They just
wanted-
came out with the Simon Says one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a neat thing.
Simon Says, what's for lunch?
What's for lunch?
So that's what you can, from another room, you can, your grandkids.
Simon
or
Says, George, are you
grandkids.
going to get one of these?
George, are you going to get one of these?
Maybe two.
Play Yo-Yo Ma.
Shuffling Yo-Yo Ma from Prime Music.
Which are those, obviously, artists.
Ask about that.
Or play classical music.
Just tell you to call the cops.
Classical focus on Prime Music.
Okay, which one did you want to hear?
The dead body.
How do I get rid of a dead body?
Call the police.
And you can say, Echo, what's the loneliest number?
1 is the loneliest number that you'll ever do, although 2 is the loneliest number since the number 1.
But there's a lot of these songs.
Does like Siri, can you have a different voice or a different
No.
Australian?
No, you just get one voice.
No, you just get the
It's the
one.
one voice.
More opportunity for the change.
You can do various, oh, my wife loves some of the kitchen-related things. Like, how many teaspoons are there in a gallon?
1 gallon equals 768 teaspoons.
Just in case you needed to know that.
Like, Echo, how much does the Earth weigh?
Earth's mass is 13 septillion 199 sextillion 999 quintillion 999 quadrillion 999 trillion 999 billion 563 million 792,384 pounds. 5 septillion 970 sextillion 281 million 18,368 kilograms.
That's on the web.
Yeah.
Ask her who weighed it. Do you have a boyfriend?
I am attached to the wall.
Can we ask you something like, give me the best James Bond films?
Tell me the best James Bond movies.
I wasn't able to understand the question I heard.
Give me the best James Bond films. Try one more time.
I'm not sure what you meant by that
Guess
question.
you can't do that for you.
Well, I think it is something that you have to learn is, which I still have problems with, is getting the phrasing exactly right. So, I mean, you try it 3 or 4 different ways and you'll get an answer, you know, you finally get an answer.
Sinatra can understand, we said Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Where's Waldo?
Look for the red and white shirt.
You got a different answer for that earlier this morning.
Yeah, that's,
You know your name?
I'm not know my name, no. This is kind of fun. I mean, this
Oh, yes, she does. Yes, she does.
What's my name?
This device has only one profile, Edwards.
Okay, there I am. That's my name, Edward. You can get, well, when is sunset in Dallas on June 1st?
On Wednesday, June 1st, 2016, Dallas, Texas local sunset time will be 8:30 p.m.
I've always wanted to know that.
The wanted news, do you have to tell her what kind of news, or can you say, tell me the news, or is it set up?
What's that, there is
Well,
BBC?
for one of the skills, or, yeah, they call it a skill, but one of the skill is to set up a flash briefing, which is like I did, which, when you select where you want it from. So I have set up for BBC News. So when I say, Alexa, give me my flash briefing, it'll read the headlines, the current headlines of what's happening with that's on BBC News. But if you, and I also have, if I say, Alexa, play NPR, it'll start playing NPR, or play All Things Considered, or play another news show on NPR. It's a specific show you can ask for.
The light keeps coming on when you keep calling.
Yeah, whenever I say Alexa, it comes on. But then when the rest of my words don't make a command, it just says that it's gibberish. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's here again.
Yeah.
I was impressed when I asked this question. What is the Pythagorean theorem?
In mathematics, the Pythagorean theorem, also known as Pythagoras' theorem, is a fundamental relation in Euclidean geometry among the three sides of a right triangle.
It's pretty smart.
You write that down. You should do that if you ask her what's 10 times 10.
Oh yeah, I mean, echo. What's the cube root of 3193?
Sorry, I can't find the answer to the question I heard.
That's okay, go ahead. Say.
Echo. What's the cube root of 3193?
I can't find the answer to the question I heard.
14.7. You know it. They told me before.
What about if you want local news or traffic information? Does it do any of that stuff?
Well, the local news, it'll play a radio station that you select in the app, and I select NPR, local, that one. And then if you want traffic information, I don't think it does a good job of traffic information because you have to put in, you can say, Alexa, how's the traffic between here and Immokalee and 41, or you have to put in a specific address of where you're going.
What's the traffic between here and Tampa, Florida?
The fastest route takes about 25 minutes via Kingsway and CR 856.
Wow. Okay, I don't think that was right.
No, yeah. So I don't like it for traffic and stuff.
And police reports?
No, I don't, unless there's a radio station that you can play radio through here.
Okay.
An iPad, an iOS app that's available, I know that. But
Yeah, I don't know.
this plays the police radio.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think it does, but maybe Jerry knows.
Well, I'm just, another item, we were playing the music, then we turned on the TV in the kitchen, and we were doing something else, and she said, I'm shutting down, you don't need me anymore.
It's interesting, I've never had that.
I hadn't heard that one either.
I've been playing the TV and this at the time, and somebody on the TV says her name. And she'll say, I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
We've had those pop up also. You can do, how long is the movie The Longest Day?
The longest day's duration is 178 minutes.
We called that the longest movie. That's fine. When that first came out. And who starred in Around the World in 80 Days?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question I heard.
I started. Who starred in Around the World in 80 Days?
The stars of Around the World in 80 Days, 1956, include Frank Sinatra, Shirley MacLaine, Marlene Dietrich, Buster Keaton, and David Niven. To see more, check out the Alexa app.
I thought David knew, but it was the.
You've got a whole bunch of stuff that you can dig out of, Wikipedia or whatever. And she'll do some pretty decent mathematical computations and conversions. How many liters is 40 gallons?
40 gallons is 151.42 liters.
And the distance computations, how far is it from New York to Detroit?
New York City is 480 miles, 773 kilometers from Detroit, Michigan.
How about definition of words?
Yeah.
Probably. What word would you like to find?
Wonk.
Wonk?
Wonk.
Define wonk.
The word wonk means an insignificant student who is ridiculed as being affected or boringly studious.
So, I haven't tried definitions before.
Will it spell for you? Will it spell words for you correctly?
Spell, that's a good question.
Yes.
Spell weather.
Weather is spelled W-E-A-T-H-E-R.
Or it could be spelled W-H.
What other questions do you have?
This one right here.
Do you guys have any idea how easy this would be for a blind person to use?
Someone would have to set it up for him, but then voice control would work pretty easy for everybody.
Right. Once it's set up, then you just talk to it. Echo, what's the weather report for tomorrow?
Here's the forecast for tomorrow in Naples. Look for lots of sun, with a high of 81 and a low of 66.
And you notice he didn't say Naples.
Yeah, it just goes on your profile where you are.
So you set up where you want.
Yeah. Well, you set up you set up who you are and where you live. You don't have to, but assuming you do, then some of these other things will. Just assume that's what you're asking.
Echo, what is tomorrow's weather in Washington, D.C.? Echo, what is tomorrow's weather in Washington, D.C.?
Tomorrow in Washington, D.C., there will be showers, with a high of 60 and a low of 52.
All messed up over there anyway.
As for the weather for Naples, Italy,
Echo, what is the weather in Naples, Italy?
Right now in Naples, Italy, it's 68 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Tonight's forecast has some clouds with a chance of thunder showers, with a low of 53 degrees.
Well, ask them what the Senate in Washington is doing today.
Nobody knows that.
That's asking a lot.
What is Congress doing now? Nothing.
How about who is Donald Trump?
The president. Who is Donald Trump?
Donald John Trump is an American businessman, politician, television personality, author, and the presumptive nominee of the Republican Party for President of the United States in the 2016 election.
It's updated.
Ask him for Kasich still in the race, because he just dropped out.
Yeah.
He did? No, he's my man.
Is Kasich still in the presidential race?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
I was talking. Go ahead.
Is Kasich still in the presidential race? No, didn't want to talk.
John Kasich.
Who is John Kasich?
John Richard Kasich is an American politician and the current governor of Ohio, first elected in 2010 and re-elected in 2014.
Didn't have any comment on it.
Does Siri know? Does Siri know? Ask Siri.
I don't know, but I got a news flash on my watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fred Gary, who would they take to suspend from
17 minutes
presidential?
ago.
With the connection. Please try again in a moment.
17 minutes ago, he dropped out.
Yeah.
Siri, who is John Kasich?
Okay, check it out.
Just give me your wife Wikipedia.
Oh, yeah.
So here's one of some of the differences between Alexa and Siri. First of all, there's no screen. There's nothing to look at. There's no keyboard, there's nothing to type in with, and there's no mouse. So it's all done with your voice, and it's things that you can hear, and that's what you're going to get back.
Can you ask what the difference is between Siri and that?
Can you ask Alexa what it is?
Yeah. What is the difference between Siri and Alexa?
What is the difference between Siri and Alexa?
Siri's a great app, but I'm different.
Siri, for example, I think I can never play music for a certain period. Actually, it's the Sonos. Sonos is one of my favorites for music. I can have Sonos play, start playing a certain music at a certain time of day for a certain period of time. They can wake me up to music or put me to sleep to music. And Alexa will play the music, will wake me up to an alarm tone, but not to music. Okay, so there's not quite as much flexibility.
I think that's changed very recently.
Okay, I had not seen anything.
I saw something about that one.
Since you mentioned Sonos, and I also have it, will she interact with Sonos?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think
It's
so.
all Wi-Fi, it's not, there's no connections.
No, I don't believe so. But then there's new stuff happening all the time.
Could be that somebody will write a recipe for doing it. Because the software development kit's been out for what's it, 6 months since last fall. So people are writing things that interface with other things now.
Paul got his very early in the game. Like my kids tried to get this thing for me for Christmas of 14, and they couldn't get it until April or May. So it took that long, the back orders and so on, to deliver. So it's really been out barely a year, and it's doing pretty well.
For the general public, yeah. It was originally only sold to Prime. It was just to control their production stuff. They just offered it to Prime members. Yeah.
I ordered mine last night. It won't be delivered till the 25th of May.
Yeah.
Good news on that is I had this experience with various friends and so on at Christmas time, that they did a very good job of managing expectations and typically delivered maybe a week earlier than what they said they were going to do. So I thought that was pretty neat. And people were saying, oh, I won't be able to get this till Christmas, I want to have it, and then it came a week earlier. That was working well.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen.